Good evening,
Hey,
Drew.
buddy, how's your Saturday?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
More Zach stuff this week. I mean,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big time, big
where were
time.
where were we this week?
Solo and ensemble.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Good times or
yeah. No, he did a solo and he played in a trumpet choir and he got a superior rating in both of those. So
superior?
superior.
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 Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
We got a lot.
Okay.
We got a lot.
Mhm.
Just a couple things to start the show off on. I was receiving a text from friend of the show and listener of the show, Jenna, who made a recent MacBook Air purchase, and she's
Oh,
absolutely in love with her computer. And
good.
she bought basically the same one you bought.
Good, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
she got Midnight, and she's really digging it.
Mm-hmm. Great
So
computer. Great computer.
yeah, great computer, great computer. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that
Yeah.
because she didn't buy the right color, but it's fine.
That's okay. I mean, did she buy what, the black or the black one?
No, she got Midnight.
Oh, midnight. It's a good color. Come
Uh,
on. Like,
uh,
oh no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
and then the other thing to follow up on last episode, we talked a lot about Lego sets,
Mm-hmm.
and on Tuesday ish, I can't remember exactly what day it was, Tuesday or Wednesday. And my doorbell alert went off at like 6 in the morning,
Oh.
and it was Amazon delivering me a package. Well, my dad is a listener of the show, and
Okay.
he sent me the Lighthouse at Alexandria light up set.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm probably gonna dive into that tomorrow. But I thought that was really
Oh,
nice. So
that's
thanks,
nice.
Dad.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Yep, thanks, Dad. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's dive into the topics du jour with that out of the way, because of course I think we all knew this was coming, and because I finally bought a new Mac, of course, this is what happened. So you take this one.
Apple released some new stuff. They kind of just shoved it out there. They didn't have like an event or anything. It was just like,
Hmm.
here's some new stuff. Here's a video. You can watch it. They finally shipped the M2 M2 Pro and M2 Max. Is that what they I literally have the link.
MacBook Pro,
Yeah, yeah. With the MacBook Pro with the what are the
Max.
yeah, the Pro and Max chips. Yeah, that's what it is. The
Right.
M2 Pro and M2. I was right. I should have trusted myself.
Yeah, trust yourself.
Yeah, they finally released them. How are you feeling, Drew? Sitting that you recently bought one.
I mean, I would have loved to get the M2. I mean, I
Mhm.
love my Mac.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this already, but I was completely out of legacy lifestyle, right? I didn't need Rosetta at all, but there's like one application that I still use that
Mhm.
requires Rosetta, and
Yeah.
it's kind of critical to some of the things that I do. So hopefully that will change. But I mean, part of me is a little bit bummed because had I waited, I don't know what, I think I bought this coming up on 2 months ago now. It was like
Mhm.
right around Thanksgiving when I bought my MacBook Pro. Had I waited a little bit for this announcement, I mean, I'm sure I could have bought one, but I mean, is there, I guess, outside of it being an M2, is there really anything compellingly different
No.
about these? I
No.
mean, there's not any different ports or anything, right?
No new ports. It supports more RAM. I think they're faster.
Yeah.
Mm, yep. Yeah.
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 And I'm looking at it, and
Mhm.
yeah, fundamentally, it really doesn't do anything different than what I already have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
You're right. Yeah, you're
I
right.
even think
Mhm.
I even think the display is the same.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
exact same
It
display, which
it's
I
a spec.
love.
It's a spec bump. It's a spec bump, which is
Yeah,
good,
that's
which is
all.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Except, hey, Apple, how about some non-boring colors for the MacBook Pros? I mean, like, come on, you cowards.
Well,
Like,
professionals don't like change, Paul.
uh, ugh.
But I'm really interested to hear what they did to the Mac Mini, though.
Yeah, like they gave the Mac Mini some love. You can buy the new Mac Mini with a you can buy it with an M2 Pro.
Yeah.
Like good for them. Like just cranking that baby up. Like you can spec a Mac Mini up to like comical price. Just so you know, like absolutely bonkers. Let's see if I do everything, I can get it up to $4,499.
God damn. Which is basically what a Mac Pro costs. Thereabouts.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
You know, here's one thing I'm genuinely curious about, because I'm in the market to replace a computer in my house.
Okay.
And I have kicked around the idea of doing a Mac Mini for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But is there an equivalent remote desktop for Mac?
Apple has Apple Remote Desktop, but it's like it's not free.
Yeah.
You have to buy like you can enable remote desktop on any Mac, but you need the client. You need to purchase the Apple Remote Desktop app from the Mac App Store.
Yeah, how much is it?
I don't know. I already bought it, so I didn't.
Oh, really? I don't own it.
I think it's like
Apple Remote Desktop.
Mm-hmm.
Apple.com/remote desktop for Mac. It doesn't tell me how much it is.
You need the App Store link.
Yeah, I tried to open that, and my computer was like, "I don't think so, boss."
I got you. There it is. I got you.
You're the best. Let's see if it takes me there.
It should.
$80.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's comically expensive, but yeah.
But you only need to buy it once.
You need to buy it once.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah.
So if I was gonna replace like my Plex server and like my storage and the other thing I use my other computer for now, this would be a necessity for me.
Yeah.
But I'm very tempted. I'm like outrageously tempted. Boy, this does not have good reviews.
I think it's mostly people bitching about how expensive it is.
I work in IT for a school district that has a lot of Macs and ATVs in the classroom. I use ARD to connect Mac information, and it is helpful. However, it would be more helpful to IT guys in the education sector to improve the product, include support for AT. What is ATVs?
I have no idea.
Apple TVs, I guess.
Why would you want to remote into an Apple TV?
I don't know.
I use it occasionally. It works fine. Like it finds Macs on like you have to enable like remote desktop in the like security and sharing thing. But then they show up and you click on it, and you say control, and boom, you're done. Like you're in. It works great. It does exactly what you want it to do. So yeah.
Yeah. I really want to replace the server that I use for Plex right now, because I mean you can run a Plex server on Mac Silicon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So yep. So that's really cool. But man, I mean, even still, like, I'm just curious because like I usually buy my Mac products at Micro Center these days, just because.
Okay.
So I'm curious if they have them at Micro Center. Mac Mini M1. Yeah, the cheapest one they have at Micro Center is $700, and they don't appear to have the M2s yet. I guess they're not out.
They are. You can buy them now, and they ship January 31st to February 2nd. So they are not out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that might be on the list.
Oh, if you buy the regular M2, not the Pro, you can pick it up January 24th at an Apple store. So
really? Okay, so let's walk through the exercise then.
Okay.
So we're going to order now. You said not the Max, right?
Yeah, you have to buy the base M2, not the Pro. The Pro is currently unavailable at Easton Town Center, which no shit. But you can't even order it for pickup. But you still can get it shipped January 31st. I don't understand logistics, Drew.
Yeah, supply chain. So the 8-core CPU, 10-core GPU, 8 gigs of memory, 256 gigs of storage is $599. To double that is $200. That's the next cheapest. So let's just pick the El Cheapo model here, the welfare model. And then if I wanted to bump this up to 16 gigs of memory,
$200 because Apple,
it literally moves the delivery date to February 14th. So it
does
basically moves it 3 weeks out. Wow.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure I could get by with 8 gigs.
I mean, I'm maybe depending on what you're doing on it, but yeah. I mean, they sell them, like people buy them.
Look at all those ports on the back.
Yeah,
Wow.
it does have a lot of ports. I think, and I even think like I think the Pro even has like more ports if you buy the M2 Pro.
The devil, you say?
I think it does.
Let's see.
I think you get a couple extra Thunderbolt ports.
Couple extra Thunderbolts. Let's see. Well, it actually showed me the back of the computer. Yeah. You get double.
Yeah.
You get double.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same though.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they're nice and thin.
And
they look so good.
Yeah, and they're I mean, they could be a lot thinner. There's a lot of air in those.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, like they've got like a big old fan in them that just spins slowly. Like you never hear the fan. They never throttle down. Like they're just solid machines. So yeah.
And then finally, this one's interesting to me.
Okay.
And I'm curious if you're gonna get this. So there's a new HomePod.
Yeah, they replace the HomePod Big.
More reasonably priced, by the way.
Yeah, from what I understand, though, this was the price you pretty much can get the original one on sale, like constantly. But yeah, it's $50 cheaper. I still think it's overpriced in this market, but it's Apple, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, a new HomePod.
I mean, I've got a few of the minis, and so do you.
I don't have any of them plugged in anymore.
Oh,
yeah. When I stopped using Apple Music, they started not being used.
Oh.
And now I have other giant speakers in my office, and I have no need for them.
For your records.
Mm-hmm. For my records, yes.
How's that going?
It's great. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And did you get any more stuff?
Oh yeah, I got like 30 records now.
Oh damn! Oh, I got. Hold on, I gotta go to your Scrivener page. Hang on.
Okay. Discogs.
I gotta see.
Discogs. Thank you.
Discogs. Why did I say Scrivener?
Get Scrivener on the brain.
I got Scrivener brain. Where did your Discogs? There it is. Okay, let's see. Down below, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By Tribulation.
Tribulation 3.
Yeah. They have weird. I don't know.
Behemoth.
They have weird
3.
numbers by. Yeah, they have weird numbers by bands. I don't know what it means yet.
Oh, you got a bunch of Behemoth here.
I did. I got
Darkest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One for sale for $1,100. What is this? One person is selling one of these records in Romania.
Oh.
Ships from Romania. Apparently Behemoth's huge in Romania. $1,100, Paul. Behemoth 3, double XP album, limited GOL. I don't know what that means.
Probably means the vinyl is gold.
You mean it's gold colored or it's made out of gold?
It's gold colored.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because if it was made out of gold, I could maybe justify the price.
Yeah. No.
Lowest, median, highest price. Wow. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Okay. You got something here from Kitty.
Oracle. Not my favorite album, but my second favorite Kitty album. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Kitty's like.
Oh, Satyricon. I know them.
Yeah. Satyricon.
Wow.
Deep Call Upon Deep. Great album.
You got another Nine Inch Nails album in here.
Right. Broken.
Good album.
It is. Dude, it is that album is it's okay. It's weird. So even like if you bought it as a CD, it came. So it's EP, right? So there's not a lot. There's like 5 tracks on it, I think.
Okay, stop.
So
when you say EP, you're talking about
versus an LP,
right? But what do those stand for?
LP stands for long play. E stands for extended play.
And extended is not as long.
It is not.
Okay. Got it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So the CD came with like the CD with the main album, and it came with the mini CD, a little baby CD with 2 bonus tracks.
Huh.
The vinyl does the same thing. So it's got an EP, and it's got a little record in there as well. What is interesting about the main record is it's only imprinted on one side.
Oh,
so
really?
It's one-sided. Yeah.
That's pretty rare, right?
it's just that's just yeah. I mean, I've never seen that before. Like it's my only album that does that. So yeah.
And how many tracks are on that then?
So on the main, oh, hold on, let me click on. Maybe it's a 5 or 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's six. But 2 of them are instrumentals. So technically 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails made it into my heavy Spotify playlist this week, thanks to you.
Yeah, Nine Inch Nails is just quality band.
It's
man.
just good
Quality.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
My favorite Nine Inch Nails track is one that when I was growing up, I didn't own a lot of cassettes or CDs.
Okay.
Just because, everybody my age at the time, at least in my friend circles, were listening to like gangster rap stuff, right? Like they were in hip hop. Hip hop is I guess the right word. And like my parents were not going to let me buy anything with an explicit label on it. And even then, like it's not something like I borrowed CDs and stuff off my friends, but I just never got into music to where I spent. I never belonged to Columbia House, right? I was never paying pennies for CDs. But my favorite Nine Inch Nails song, and like one of the few albums I ever bought, because like I even had a hard time finding this in the heydays of like Napster, is The Perfect Drug.
Okay. Yeah.
It was on the Lost Highway CD,
exactly. Yeah.
which was a movie soundtrack, right?
It was. I think you can also when they did like a remastering of the Downward Spiral, I think it's included in that.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
I mean that song fucking slaps, dude.
It's good.
The way it changes tempo halfway through, and then like the heavy like industrial shit, and then it just drops, and it's like love that fucking song.
It's got a great music video as well, because it's got Trent Reznor with like a very creepy mustache. So yeah.
like the evil Trent Reznor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually looking at he does have a weird looking mustache. I just and for years that's how I thought Trent Reznor kind of looked. but now I know better.
No, yeah.
That's such a good song. Let's see what else you got here. Boy, that's a lot of Behemoth. Another Zeal and Ardor.
Yeah, I got them. I got all the main stuff. So yeah. I got. Yeah, I think the last one was missing was their first album, Devil Is Fine. So yeah.
Yeah, because you had what's the other one? Wake Up the Nation.
And the self-titled recent Zeal and Ardor. Yeah.
Got some Ghost in here.
I do. I'm missing. Still missing a couple albums there, but
tell me more about Devil Master. I've not heard you talk about them.
Oh, they're just. I saw them. I think I saw them open live for Skeleton Witch. I mean,
Devil Master Skeleton Witch.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just fun. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah. Dude, so like one thing I love about like Devil Master is like it looks like they're just a bunch of kids in their mom's basement playing dress up.
Oh my god. That the guy second from the right, that needs to be show art.
Yeah, and that's their whole vibe, man. They're like low budget black metal, but it works. It's good. It's yeah.
I'm looking at they don't have a ton of albums.
No, they have 2. Yeah.
Are they just new, or they just don't put out?
They're new. Yeah,
okay.
They're new. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, when I saw them after they were, I think when they were touring with Skeleton Witch, they were supporting their first album, Satan Spits on the Children of Light. It's just a great title. I mean, come on.
Just like lean into it.
You can't get more metal than that.
You really can't.
You just like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how's your rig? Like, are you making any changes to the stuff?
No, I'm still looking for like an integrated amplifier, but I haven't bought anything yet. So just to simplify my desk setup, because I've got too many boxes on my desk right now. So yeah. Nothing yet. Yeah. So are you gonna buy a HomePod? You gonna buy a HomePod?
I'm toying with the idea. I really like the Mini. Because when we have people over for dinner or something, it's just nice to kind of have that thing in the corner, kind of just
Yeah.
like on a low setting. I like the
Yeah.
look of the HomePod,
You know, it's very nice. Yeah,
and I just assume that this puts out more. Oh, this has spatial audio too.
it does. It actually has less speakers than the original version, like less tweeters.
Well, it's
But
also $200 cheaper.
yeah, actually, I don't think I think it's like $50 cheaper. than
Well, what? No, the original
price.
HomePod was like $500. I thought.
Oh no, it was $350.
I just know it was outrageously expensive, and I couldn't afford it at the time.
I still think 300 is too much, but what are you gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, if this picture's to scale, it looks like it's roughly 2 HomePod minis high.
Yeah, and,
So
and a
it's
little
not
thicker.
massively
Yeah,
big. Little thicker with
a
cubes.
little thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, like only white and black, or what do they call it? Midnight and white.
Midnight and white.
I mean, come on, you cowards! More colors.
Yeah, the
Come
HomePod
on.
Mini, the HomePod Mini Orange is just so delightful.
Yeah, I've got the yellow ones, and I'm really happy with them. They look nice. They're just in a box somewhere right now. Because
Yeah.
yeah.
God, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know, man. I got other stuff that I've sort of got my eye on. I'm like sort of like on a I'm on a hiatus until some things calm down.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of that's tax related too.
Oh,
My
okay,
tax situation got immensely more complicated this year.
Oh yeah.
And we're also getting that time of year where I have to pay my yearly HOA assessment.
You have
So-
to pay an HOA assessment.
Yeah, so where I live, we have HOA dues.
Okay. Yeah.
And we pay on a yearly basis.
Okay.
And it is based on the county auditor's assessment of your home.
Oh.
So it's now at first that sounds really scary, right? Because I know what I paid for my house, and we pay, it's one of those things where it's calculated in mills.
okay.
So it's not what I paid for my house; it's what the county thinks my house is worth as an exterior structure, right? So like,
Right. Yeah.
in order to figure it out, you basically go to the county website, you type in your address, and I live in Delaware County technically now, so like you type in your address and it spits out a number, and then you do some simple math, and then that's the number you got to pay, or at least that's the number that they use to send you the bill.
Okay.
And like where we live, obviously it's expensive.
Mhm.
Not just property tax, but this assessment on top of it is substantial. But again, I sort of look around at what I get for the money, and I'm kind of okay with it because there's 2 swimming pools, tennis courts, walking paths.
Yeah.
They do a ton of maintenance and upkeep of the green spaces, and that's all fine for me. But still, it's something that I have to budget for every year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's there's all sorts of things I want to buy. Like I have had a bug up my ass for the last couple months to totally redo my home networking setup.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking about investing heavily in like some prosumer grade network switches.
Like Ubiquity switches.
Well, I would look like a giant hypocrite if I did that.
Oh.
Because I tend to poo-poo Ubiquity for what it is. I think it's very expensive. And
Yeah.
there's plenty of managed switches by like Linksys and Netgear and things that I can
Okay.
get that would do that.
Okay.
And like I don't know. Just learning how to properly integrate like a layer 3 network switch is something I've been wanting to do for the past decade.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, plus there's a great secondhand market for that stuff too. So like I could go on eBay and buy a bunch of used, Cisco's or something and put them in my house. But like I have like these grand visions of like carving out subnets for like
Oh.
like
Gross.
for like all of my Amazon devices and doorbells and like shit that I never see
Oh.
from a network perspective. You know what I mean?
Just thinking about that makes me want to like. I don't want to deal with that. Like I have to deal with that shit at work.
I
like
know.
I want network to be just a big old pile of things on the internet. Like
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's the best description of my home network right now. Is it is a dog pile of devices.
yeah.
Like it is just so many things, right? Because
Yeah,
if you start to do like a little mental arithmetic, I think about the computers I have in my house. I have my work computer. I have my second work computer. I have my gaming PC. I've got various Raspberry Pis, a printer,
Mm-hmm.
our phones, iPads, like, there's precious IP space right there. And like, that's to say nothing of the ladies in the tubes and the AirPods, or I'm sorry, the HomePods. My security system, my other smart devices, those are all things that live on the same network. And I'm very thankful for my Raspberry Pi because those things are so damn chatty. Like, they phone home a ridiculous amount. Like, the telemetry and the shit that gets sent is just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot. And like smart TVs, Fire Sticks, or Hulu, or I'm sorry, not Hulu. What's the name of that? Roku sticks.
Roku's, yeah.
Apple TVs. Like, I mean, if I were to look right now, and I'm sort of tempted to, but I think it's funnier if I don't. Like, I probably have close to 100, 120 devices.
Whew. That's more than me.
Yeah. Apple Watches. Like, I mean, dude, it gets up there, right?
My washer and dryer are on the Wi-Fi.
My toaster isn't, which is surprising.
That's surprising.
I thought for sure it was going to be. No, my washer and dryer aren't. Refrigerators. Your refrigerator?
Dude, no, my refrigerator is not on. Let me tell you, there is something special about getting a push notification when like your wash is done or like the dryer is done. Like, because I'm at that point now where like, like. I do my own laundry. All right. I don't mix my laundry in with anybody else's. My laundry is my laundry. I do my laundry.
Respect.
So now that I work from home, it's just nice to be able to go, I'm going to throw a load of laundry in. And boy, it's nice when you have the music cranking and you don't hear the little happy chime that it's done. You get that push notification like, ooh, time to take stuff out of the dryer. It's wonderful. It's life-changing.
But you have a front load washer?
Yeah, I do. No, actually, no, we don't. We have a top load.
Good man.
Yeah, we have a top load because that's when we moved and replaced our stuff. We got a top load. Yeah, because they're just easier to take. I think they work better. They're easier to take care of. You don't have to worry about that big rubber ring on the door, and you have to clean out all the gross stuff in there.
You really got to get up it. You got to get up in the taint of your washer to get that stuff out of there. Like,
all the folds, man. Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bad smells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, irrigation system.
Yeah.
And if I decide, if my big spring project this year, which is probably going to be some new landscape lighting, like that's going to be 1 or 2 boxes probably. So anyway, the whole reason I bring that up, right, is I would love to, like, first of all, I would love to rearrange how I have all of my networking and servers and NAS devices. Like, there you go, NAS device, VMs. Like, I'm telling you, like, you really start to sit down and figure it out. Like, it's a lot. So like in my head, my grand scheme is I want to get, and I was looking at these just yesterday, in fact. Let's see here. Did I actually add some to my wish list? I don't think I did. Let me see. Well, okay. This is the first result. Let me just say this isn't the one that I'm thinking about getting, but I'm thinking of something like this. Okay. So basically like an open frame rack that I can put in my basement that looks better than the wireframe shelves that I'm currently like setting all this shit on.
Okay.
They also make ones that I could mount to a wall. Okay. So like in my case, it would be get something that provides like at least 8 units of storage capacity, mount it to the wall or set it, off to the side of my basement somewhere, and basically make that my home networking hub. So like there would be a router, a switch, probably a power conditioner or a UPS on there. And then on like a shelf, because like you can get like cantilever shelves for them. And this will all be in the show notes. But and then like on one of the shelves, I could set like my smart light switch controller and my Raspberry, my Pi hole for Raspberry Pi, and like my wireless mesh network hub, and maybe like one of my computers if it supports the weight, right?
Okay.
So basically just turn it into a really nice and nice patch panel, like nice wiring, looks good, remotely managed switch, right?
Okay.
Like that. And in doing that, then carving out dedicated subnets for like, smart devices that live in my house versus actual computers, and keeping that traffic isolated, and just being a giant nerd is what it comes down to. But like,
Ugh. Ugh.
I know. Like this is the stuff we do for work, right? I
Yeah.
haven't had to touch a physical network switch in 5 years, but I know, right? I know it's not going to matter at the end of the day, right? It's just morbid curiosity and the fact of making it look a little bit better, and just having that control, right? And then maybe running some additional like cable runs in my house for like wiring my Apple TV upstairs and things like that. Like that's a project that I have been wanting to do for a while. And once a bunch of stuff settles down, like I could probably do it for under $1,000 for all the equipment and hardware and cables and everything that I have to buy. My current shopping list is like at like $800-900. So
Okay.
like that is a project that I'm sort of kicking around, and like I haven't totally decided. Like that number could swing wildly depending on what hardware I buy, but that is like my grand design for what I want to do.
Hmm.
That's probably my next big like purchase of them.
Yeah, I mean, I work with a bunch of like people, and like they all have like really complicated home networks. I'm just like, I got some Eros and I'm done. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
there's nothing wrong with my network right now. It works, right? It
Yeah.
works like a home network should work. There's a router that has a DHCP server that hands out IP
Mhm.
addresses like they're
Mhm.
candy, right?
Yeah.
And it's fine, right? The computers I care about are wired in. The ones that don't need it aren't, and everything just works, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, buddy. Like the only thing I would say about my network setup is a little bit weirder than most is that I do occasionally open VPN access into my house.
Okay.
So again, isolating that network from a security standpoint also makes a little bit of sense. But again, that is more of a rare exception these days than a rule.
Hmm.
But I could, but I'm with you, right? Like I think doing it just for doing it is not a good enough reason to make that kind of investment. But as a learning opportunity and for some of the other things that I mentioned, like that's kind of where my head's at. I could just as easily talk myself out of it. So that's part of the reason I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's my next thing.
Okay.
Okay.
You hate you and you hate yourself in a completely different way.
I hate myself in a completely different way. So we talked about this before. We have talked about your son doing this, but
Mhm.
I'm here to say that, confession time, I have started playing Elden Ring.
Okay. And
Okay. Listen, hear me out.
okay.
I bought this game because it was on sale.
Okay.
Because it is still a hugely popular game. And like I have
It
Steam
is.
running on my computer right now. And if I go to the Steam store and I type in Elden Ring, it's still like right now full price. Let's see, $60.
Mm-hmm.
During the Steam winter sale, it was $43. And like you're probably thinking to yourself, Drew, aren't you the guy that buys expensive watches? Like, does $20 really mean that much to you? It was the principle of the thing. Because again, I knew that this was a game that I'm probably never going to finish.
Right. Right.
Look, it did the classic Souls-like thing where it throws you into a world, creating a character with stats you don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, are extremely obtuse and very deep. They let you fight a boss that you have a 0.1% chance of beating. You're supposed to die, and you get reincarnated or whatever, resurrected in this world. And unlike the other Souls games that I played, as soon as I started playing it, I was immediately overcome with the fact that it felt very much like when I was playing Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild is and still it was and still is, I should say, a fantastic game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the game points you in a general direction and just says go. This game does the same thing, except that it's very hard to know that you're in a place you shouldn't be until it's way too late.
Got it. Okay.
The game also has a sick sense of humor where like you'll be walking around and you could be totally destroying the things around you. Like, okay, yeah, these enemies are great. I've learned their mechanics and I feel good about where I'm at. Oops, there's a dragon. Like, okay, hey, that's great.
Oops, all dragon.
Or hey, here's an easy boss that as soon as you hit it transforms into a bear for no reason and just mauls you, right?
Oh, that sounds awful.
It's very much a stop hitting yourself kind of game. But here's the thing.
Okay.
So my buddy Arthur loves this game. Absolutely loves this game. He has beaten it several times with different archetypes of characters and loves it. And I told him I bought it, and he's like, "I'll teach you how to play." So the majority of the time that I have been spent playing this game has been spent playing co-op.
Okay.
It is a very unique co-op system. You have to literally finger somebody to get them to join your game.
Neat.
Yeah. That's not an exaggeration. Like you literally have to use a finger. I don't know. But when you're playing co-op, your chances of being invaded, where people who like to play that game to make other people's lives miserable, can basically ruin your night. That part kind of sucks because even at low, like there are people, and of course this is the internet, so why are we surprised? There are people who purposely create low-level characters and deck them out in gear that they shouldn't have and invade your game. And like little old me still learning the controls is getting absolutely just ass-fisted by like people who are just really good at the game, right?
Oh.
But
that sounds awful.
Yeah, but in a weird way,
No.
I understand the appeal.
Okay.
I understand the appeal.
Okay.
Now, my self-imposed goal is to beat this game before mid-February.
Okay.
I have no idea if that's reasonable at the rate I am playing, because that's when the new Destiny expansion launches. But
oh yes.
but yes, I am playing Elden Ring. It is fun? Question mark.
Wow, endorsing review. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun.
Could it be fun?
It might be fun.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm out exploring the world and sort of taking it all in and learning about the lore and sort of starting to understand how the world works, that part is amazing. And finding the dungeons and the caves and just the little things that are sort of scattered around. Again, very Breath of the Wild like. The curiosity gets you killed. The curiosity absolutely gets you killed in this game. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm going to make a note of that and I'm going to come back to it. Then you find the next thing and the curiosity gets you killed, right? So it's like I have a huge list of things on my map that I need to go back to once I figure out the correct order. But that's the other thing too, right? Like in the other Souls games, there's a very clear order of operations. Like go over here to get stronger before you go back over here and do this. You can theoretically, if you're good at the game, tackle this game in any order you want, right?
Yeah.
But your character's going to be weak, so you better be really good at the combat system and understand, like, you know, your character's invincible for like a split second when you do this one move, so you don't take any damage type stuff.
Yeah, iframes.
Yeah, iframes they call that. Actually, that's a good thing to put in the show notes. Iframes.
Yes,
iframes. But like the weapons in the game are very interesting. Starting deciphering the systems there's something there. Like I'm not gonna lie, there's something there. But what I need to do is I need to spend more time playing it myself and not co-op to get better and go explore the world on my own and try to figure stuff out. Because when I'm playing with my buddy Arthur, he's like, okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to do this thing. And like, I don't know when I would have gone to the places that we went or if I would have even found some of the things that he showed me, right?
Right.
But he has sworn to me that the things we're doing are not meant to spoil the game in any way. Like he's not making me overpowered. He's just sort of showing me different areas that, you know, maybe give me a little bit more of a leg up for some of the boss fights.
Okay.
And like we beat the official like first quote unquote boss the other night, which was kind of cool. And like I actually did pretty well. Like I think I could have beaten him by myself, but I don't know. Just I know we talked a lot of shit about Elden Ring, so I'm here to say that I'm playing it, and when I complete it, I'll be back with probably more thoughts.
Excellent. I'm still not playing it. There you go. Hey, The Last of Us on HBO was really fucking good. The first episode.
I saw
Really
I
good,
saw a
Drew.
lot
It
of
was
reviews.
really good. It was really good. Oh my god, it was good.
What did you like about it?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. Where do I start? Like, so it's different than the game, but it also like hits like it I get a feeling that like they're going for, or at least in the first episode, like they had a couple of beats from the game that they wanted to hit, and they hit them. Boop, boom, they hit them. But since like the game is so much focused on like we got to get you like out of this cutscene into the next thing where you're just shooting dudes and moving around, like so it's so much focused on like the action of the game, where this game like well the show doesn't have to do that, right? It can stop, it can take a breath, it can explore characters, it can show you things, you know, because like the game's entirely from like Joel and Ellie's perspective. The show doesn't have to do that. It can show you other things, other characters. It was great. The way they showed Infection Day, so like, you know, when all the zombies start doing zombie stuff, was just absolutely fantastic. All like the little things, like so obviously, like, I mean, not too much of a spoilers, but basically what happens is there's a fungal outbreak, and this fungus infects people, and it like the fungus that takes over the ants and makes them like do crazy shit. It does that to humans, right? So it takes over humans, it controls them. So like the first kind of glimpse that something is wrong is like, you know, Sarah, that's Joel's daughter. She's at school, and she's trying to take notes, and she gets like, you know, like some light is reflecting off of something, and it keeps shining in her eye, and she looks across, and there's a student, and he's just twitching his arm. He can't control his hand. And it's just his bracelet's just like shining light in her face. It's just little stuff like that throughout, kind of giving you a little hints of what was going to come. The cast is just absolutely amazing. You know, the set design, the you know, everything was great, Drew. Everything was great. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. Even if like the next like what there's like 9 episodes, like the next 8 episodes are only like 75% as good, it's still going to be a freaking fantastic show.
Huh.
So yeah.
So
It's amazing.
it was an hour, right?
The first episode was like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the rest will be 60 minutes.
I don't. Who knows? It's HBO. They do what they want.
Fair.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is spoilers or not, but I was reading some articles because again, people love it, and you know, great, right? Like I kind of want to watch it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's good.
But it looks like people are speculating that they have cast Abby for season 2.
Who knows? Yeah.
So they're gonna get through the entire. That leads to the question, and maybe this has been stated and I missed it or I haven't, but like, are they going to get through the entire story in season 1?
That's what they've said. Yeah.
Okay. Because like with Sandman, right? They got through a couple arcs, but
yeah,
it's going to take them 2 seasons to tell the whole story. But I just didn't know if they were going to say like The Last of Us episode 1, right? Like Last of Us, the whole first video game is going to be this season.
Yeah. It's, from what I understand, it's supposed to be the part 1, that main story arc is in the first season. So, but again, who knows? But I think to me that makes sense. I think anything else is kind of like, you don't get a full story until you finish that first, you know, that first big arc. Like it's not. I don't think it's as fulfilling if you stopped it halfway through, or like, yeah. You need that big payoff at the end.
But if I remember from reading about the story of Last of Us 1, not a great ending.
I mean, it's not a happy ending, but it's like, it's one of those things where like, I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers, but like, it's not satisfying. It's like, oh, like everything is happy and everything all worked
Right.
out absolutely fine.
Right.
But it's very true to the characters.
Much like The Wire.
Yeah.
The way The Wire ends, people hated, but I was like, that's the most Wire way to end it.
Yeah. It's like, this is exactly what these characters would do in this situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So big thumbs up.
Big, too big. If I had 4 thumbs, they'd all be up.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just great.
You were going to say something else though.
Oh, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Let's go.
Okay. So it's good.
Yep. It's great. Oh.
Okay. Last topic of the night. I think I can talk about this in some uncertain terms, right? So, if you've been, well, let me start here. I got a lot of text from people who listen to the show and people who don't, asking me if I was affected by layoffs this week. Because if you've been reading things online or watching the news or whatever, like a lot of tech companies, including the one I work for, have gone through some pretty significant layoffs this past week alone. I'm happy to report that it doesn't affect me yet.
That's good. That's great.
Yet.
Well, Well, you never know. But yeah.
So a couple things, right? Again, without getting super specific about things, but this is all public knowledge. But so the layoffs that were announced at my company are targeting many thousands of people across many different organizations in multiple countries. And what's different about the way that it's being handled at my company is that the first round where people were notified this week is going to happen 2 more times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is an ongoing thing that is going to keep happening until the end of March. So until April rolls around, we all sort of live under this cloud of some uncertainty. Now, I'm fortunate. The group I work in is a relatively small, very niche, very useful group, very customer-facing group, working on some pretty interesting stuff. That is by no means a guarantee.
Right.
But we have been told repeatedly by people who know things that, we probably don't have anything to worry about. But that's just the reality of it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I love where I work. But I'm a line. I'm a number and a line on an Excel sheet, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That is the unfortunate thing, and that applies to anywhere, by the way, not just where I work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like, what's interesting is this is the first time that I've had to grapple with layoffs. The first place I ever worked out of college, I worked there for 11 years, and I had gone through a spinoff of the company where we were. Basically, one company was born out of another company and became a wholly operated subsidiary that was separate from the parent company. And then we were acquired. And, I survived the culling of employees as they basically took the bones of our company and absorbed them into the parent company. But then the position that I had was eliminated. But my head count was not. So I was called into a room and said, look, the role you have isn't going to exist anymore. But we encourage you to apply for these other roles. Like, you have like 60 days, right? Like try to find something you like. Otherwise, we'll give you a package and you can go your way.
That feels kind of gross.
Yeah. And I was fortunate because I knew I was given a heads up that it was coming. And I had already talked to a few people that had open headcount, and I was offered a position in their orgs. So like it was handled gracefully in that I got the high sign, I set myself up early, and like when I got called into that room to get told what I was going to get told, like I knew that I had a place to go. The person delivering me the news knew I had a place to go. I'm not sure if the HR representative that was also in the room knew that I had a place to go, but no tears were shed.
Yeah.
Right. It was fine. But yeah, that was hard. That was really hard.
I've only been laid off once, and I got laid off by the company Intranet. So that was nice.
Oh, like they just like cut you off one day?
No. So what it was is I was working for this insurance company, and they were basically going to split the company into two pieces. Insurance companies just can't like disappear. They have to deal with long claims, right? So they call it like voluntary runoff. So the company's going to split into the non-profitable part, which is kind of just limp along, and like the profitable parts of the business. New investors were coming in, and they were going to buy it, and they were going to split that off, and it was going to be a new company. And your job, you found out like when this whole thing was happening, you were either aligned with the original company or Newco, right? Newco. And I was aligned with Newco. It was like full of opportunity, and everything was great. And we came into work one day. I think it was even like wasn't even like a Monday. It was a Tuesday. And you fire up your computer and you open your browser, and the company forces the home screen to be their intranet, and you load it up, and it's like, oh, by the way, at the last minute, the Newco investors pulled out. If you were aligned with Newco, consider this your like 2-month notice. You were being laid off. Depending on your how long you've been there, you'll get one of these severance packages. So like it was no call to the HR or anything. They just like, I don't know, I think in a very cowardly way said, fuck all of you. But so we were just doing all new development. Like we weren't doing any kind of support or anything. So like our manager came in and talked to us. He's like, okay, I don't care what anyone says. Like if you have to be here, I want you working on your resumes. Otherwise just go the fuck home. Like I'll deal with management. So like, no, I didn't have to work those 2 months. I got paid for it, and I got the severance package on top of it. That was nice. But yeah, I didn't even get that dreaded like call into the office, or when you get split into 2 conference rooms. It was just HTML on a web page saying, "Hey, Paul, you're fired," basically.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this all happened on a Thursday, and like different Teams chats and text messages and everything. And it was
I can't imagine what that news does to like the vibe of the company. Yeah.
So the rumors for this were sort of swirling back in December, because at the time, like every other major tech company, like Meta, Google, AWS, and Amazon and AWS, like they had already gone through a round of layoffs, and like Microsoft really did their best to not do this. But at the same time, a lot of us were like, it's going to happen, right? Yeah. Like we're the only people that haven't done this. Like logic sort of dictates this is going to happen. And like a lot of it, like the people that I was talking to that, we were sort of theory crafting what was going to happen. And like, a lot of us were like, well, I guess it's kind of some of us were like, it could be a coin flip, or no, we're going to be fine. And like, no one really knew. And then like all of December came and went. And then things got really kind of quiet towards the end of the year, because everybody was off on vacation and everything. And then when January rolled back around, we started hearing like, yeah, this is a thing that's going to happen. It's probably going to happen this week. And then that week happened, and then like nobody got laid off. And then all of a sudden, like there were some articles that got published like, hey, these layoffs are coming on this day. And sure enough, we got some internal emails and things kind of describing the situation. And I know a couple people personally that were affected.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks for them, but there's actually a pretty good plan in place for people who are affected by this. They're not like escorted out of the building or like cut off from access right away. They have a little bit of time to kind of get their stuff together, and if there's stuff they want to save, and mailing back your work devices if you have them, and like there's a whole plan for these people. If they want to try to find another internal position, like there's routes to take, or career counseling. Like there's a pretty nice safety net in place for people. Doesn't make it any easier, I'm sure. One of the people that got let go is somebody that was actually hired at the same time as I was.
Oh,
yeah, and it was wild because we were all trying to figure out, well, how are they going to figure out who's going to go and who's not, and I have no idea. I mean, listen, it's decisions made well above where I'm at, right? But it's like this person in particular was doing, I thought, pretty well. Like they had been promoted, they were working on some pretty interesting stuff. So you know, I have no insight into how those decisions are made. And like I said, it's still something that could be going on for a bit. You know, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm fortunate and I'm trying not to worry about it. That's all I can really say about it right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what else can you do? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, from what I know, from what you do, Drew, like, what, of course, I'm not on Twitter anymore, so like, I'm like a day and a half behind on all my tech news. When I saw that, like, oh shit, I should just like reach out to say like, hey, you okay, buddy? But like, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I bet you he's fine. Like,
You know,
just
it's
what you
wild.
do and the technologies you work with, I feel like that's where that you're still working on stuff where like that's where the industry is going. You know, not it's like we're still in
Yeah.
a big transition to that kind of stuff. So I don't. I wasn't too worried, but again, who knows? Like you don't know.
Can I be completely honest here? Like
Uh huh.
I had sort of come to the conclusion that if it was going to happen, I was going to be weirdly okay with it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about my skills and my hireability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
you know, if I had gotten the email invitation, I'm sure it's easy. It's easy to say this now, right?
Hmm.
You know, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. But like, if I had gotten the email, I would have probably been relieved because I would have known, right? I would have known it would have been done,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
You're right. Yeah.
I would have had a couple weeks to get my shit together to
Hmm.
go out and find something else.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty good package of skills that I feel like, you know, it's just, I will say that it's a pretty tough time to be in the market right now with so many other people suddenly in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I were to go back to like a local company or local consulting company or like that's, I have no idea, right? Because I'm just not looking at the moment. But
Hmm.
like, I probably would have just been like, okay, it is what it is.
Hmm.
And it would almost be like a little bit of a relief because, like I said, I would know.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and hitting the reset button on your career is never easy, right? But I've done it once in the past 3.5 years. You know,
Yeah.
if I had to do it again, I would kind of pick myself up the ground and do it again, right? And it
Mhm.
wasn't like I was fired for cause or fired for reason or I was shitting. It was just like, yeah, we have to make cuts.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Right? I
Yeah.
wouldn't have taken it personally.
Ugh.
But yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild times there right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Gee, I can't imagine. I've never gone through that. Like mine was like sudden and completely unexpected. Like there was no like like talking to other people. It was just like, oh, I'm losing my job. Okay, let's find something new. Yeah,
But I'm very thankful for the people that reached out, like you, right?
yeah,
And there were a handful of other people that reached out, and that's very nice. And it's nice
yeah,
that people think of me, and you know,
yeah,
just know that I got all your. I think I replied to everybody's texts, and
yeah,
thank you. Everything's good.
yeah,
I still like what I do. I still love where I work. Don't get
yeah,
it twisted for what I just said. But it's just
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Absolutely.
a
Yeah,
lot of things run through your mind. There's a lot of emotions. It just kind of is what it is.
yeah, for sure. Oh,
So yeah,
let's
that's
let's
all the
wrap.
news that's fit to print.
Let's wrap it up.
Yep.
Still not on Twitter.
Oh my God, they finally killed.
Oh my
If you're
god.
interested in this at all I'll say is it's very shitty. But if you're a person who is still on Twitter
Mhm,
or sometimes checks Twitter, and you are one of the people that really enjoyed the great third party Twitter apps out there, very sad news. That's all dead now.
mhm. It is.
It sucks.
Dude, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna find this Verge article and put it on there. It like they talked to like people who got like fired from Twitter, who I think even still at Twitter, and kind of put a story together of like how the whole thing unfolded.
Yeah, I read
And
that.
but you notice like, did you notice the bar on the left? So
No,
the
I read it
article
on my phone.
okay, so if you're on desktop, the article has this bar that runs along the left side of the article, and the bar represents Elon Musk's net worth.
Oh,
And as you move forward in time in the article, you can watch his net worth drop.
that's awesome. That's very
it's
clever.
it's beautiful.
Sometimes CSS is good. Like
Yeah, yeah. I'll find
yeah.
that. Put that in the show notes.
That makes it hard.
Anywho,
That makes it hard for me to surf Twitter without my third party apps because the first party app is so gross right now. Like, hey, this shithead that you somehow follows these nut jobs. You might be interested in this tweet. And it's like, Joe Biden's a racist in all caps. I'm just like, I'm so out of here. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it did hurt to delete Twitterific from my phone, but I did it. Like, I mean, I wasn't using it anyway. Like, I was only signed into the Doing Best Pod. By the way, you can reach us. I guess you can still reach the podcast on Twitter at Doing Best Pod. Maybe I'll check it every once in a while. Probably not. Who knows? But yeah.
send us stuff. Send us stuff.
Yeah. We have an email account. Contact at doingtheirbest.com. I do check that. So yeah. Yeah, do that. Send us an email.
Send us an email.
I bet you won't, you cowards.
Yeah, you little bitches. You dirty little bitches. You don't know how to email us.
Oh, send us the emails.
Send us an email.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, bye.